Hi, welcome back again to today's video. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Sandra and I am your host here. If you're a returning viewer, this is your first time seeing my face, welcome. My name is Sandra. I'm a mommy content creator, lifestyle, and sometimes I tell stories. Thank you so much for those of you that reached out to me last week. I know I had said that I was sick. Apparently, I wasn't even sick, I was just hungry because after I ate, I felt a lot better. But thank you for reaching out regardless. Um, yeah, how are you doing? I hope everybody is doing great. I hope everybody is doing well. Everyone is safe. Given the whole election and the country is in a bit of uncertainty right now. Just stay safe, everyone, and yes, go and vote. No matter what happens, go and vote. So, without further ado, let us get right into today's video. Again, let me apologize for this setup. This is usually not the setup that we would use, but like my OG subscribers know, my tripod is bad, so I have to use this tabletop tripod that I have for now. So we just have to use this setup for now. Don't focus on the setup, just focus on me, the one giving the message. So today we're going to be touching a very sensitive topic in the mommy space. This topic is really sensitive. I don't think a lot of people talk about it a lot, but of course that's why we're here. I'm going to talk about it, and I um whatever I say is my opinion. And before I even start, if there's anybody here that wants to do a collaboration with me on this topic, I'm willing, like I'm open to collaborations on this topic because I want to have a more robust view, a more robust point of view on this topic. I don't want it to just be, I don't want to, I'm open to learning, right? I'm open to learning. I don't want to just die with what I have, or like, oh no, this is my view and it's fine. Or no, I want to really even see it from the point of view of someone else. And I want the person to have a different point of view from me, because there's really no need. If we have the same point of view, then there's really no need for the collaboration. So if you have a different point of view from me and you want to collaborate, please, please, please just let me know in the comment section and we can take it up from there. So the topic is epidurals, CS, that is cesarean section, vaginal birth. What is your bias? Like I said, this is a very touchy topic in the mommy space, in the motherhood space, because everyone has a bias. I have a bias as far as this topic goes. I'm sure you also have a bias. So everyone has a bias for good reasons. If you ask me, why do I choose what I choose? I'll give you like, okay, I'm choosing this because XYZ. If I ask you to, you have, the same reason why you're choosing what you choose. So everyone has a bias. So that's why I say it's a very, very, very touchy topic, but we're going to talk about it regardless. That's why this channel is here. We need to talk about things, have difficult conversations. So we're going to talk about it regardless. um for those of you that know me, for those of you that follow this journey for a bit, you know that I I create content based off of my life experiences. My content is based on my life. My life is my content. Anything that I have not experienced, anything that I have not gone through, I don't talk about it. So everything I talk about on my channel are things that I have experienced, and I am saying it from my own point of view. Like I always say, whatever I say here is not Bible, it's not cast in stone, it's not word in marble. It is my own experience, my own point of view. And sometimes when I share these experiences, some people concur with me, like, oh yes, Sandra, I had the same experience as well. Other people disagree with me. That is the reason for a community like this. Let us, banter ideas and share. Okay, how are you feeling? How does it work for you? And so whatever I'm going to say on this video are personal experiences. They are personal experiences. I'm not saying it's one fits all. This is my experience. This is Sandra's experience. Your experience may be different. Mrs. Lagbaja's experience may be different, but this is my own experience. Um, yeah, so let us get right into it. Epidurals. Epidurals are like medications for birth. Again, another thing I always say. Whatever I say here is not medical advice. It is not medical advice. It is what I have lived. I've already said all those. So yeah, epidurals are like pain relievers, spine block for I wish there was a doctor here to give like a more medical, definition, but you know what I mean. Epidurals, you can Google it. Epidurals, they are pain relievers. They are mostly given to women that want to give birth, to kind of ease off that labor pain. For either some women do take epidurals and they still give birth vaginally. I've heard of it, I've read about it. There are other women that give birth that take epidurals and it's CS. Here in Nigeria, it is when you hear epidural, they mostly just think CS. CS now being cesarean section. And then cesarean section is when your baby is being operated out of you, like there's a surgery to bring your baby out, and then vaginal birth, of course, the traditional way of birthing a baby. So what's my bias? Now, my bias is, do I have a bias? How do I say this thing now that I want to try to tiptoe around this topic because it's very touchy. Like I said, I want to try to tiptoe around it until I have a more robust, view on it. But I personally, I have a 5 month old that will still be 6 months in a few days time. I had my son via a cesarean section, elective. I chose a cesarean section for reasons being that I did not want to endure labor pain. I wasn't up for it. I could afford a cesarean section, so I opted for a cesarean section. I know that some people that really want to have vaginal births, probably because of health reasons or I don't know, something complications or something, they have to go in for an emergency CS, right? And then there are people that choose it, people like me. Now, if an opportunity presents itself again, I get pregnant tomorrow, I'm going to still choose a cesarean section. It works for me. It's convenient for me. It's convenient. I like the fact that I don't need to feel any pain. Just, we block my spine, take the baby out, and I'll deal with healing later. That's because I even have I'm scared of labor pain and pushing. I don't even know what it feels like right now. Um, so I'm going to talk um about three things why I think that this is a touchy subject here in Nigeria. About three reasons why I think that it's a touchy subject here in Nigeria. The first thing is that, of course, we're traditional African people. We're too traditional. We believe that every woman must, push out a baby. Every woman must excrete a baby. So if you are not excreting a baby, you are less of a woman, or you are not woman enough. You're not strong enough. There are a lot of I even block my ear to things like that because up till tomorrow, no matter how progressive we think we are as a people, there are still people that have things to say about things like this. And it will be surprising to you that these people are learned people. There are people that look like you and me. There are people that look like, okay, this one you're exposed. Some people say certain things and they you are like, you just give them a pass, like, well, I don't know what I'm expecting from someone like you. But imagine, okay, look at me now. Imagine somebody like me saying certain things. You just look at me like, well, you look schooled, you look traveled. Why are you saying certain things? So I think that we're too spiritual as a nation. The person that did not give birth vaginally is I don't know. I don't know what, like I said, I don't even know what they are saying because I do not give room for things like that. So you that did not give birth vaginally, why did you not try? You guys, the ones that have watched um my birth story, you guys remember I told you guys I fought with my mother in the hospital because when I got to the hospital and I told my mom, okay, I want to have a CS, my mother started fighting me like, why would I have a CS? There's no CS in our lineage. On that video, you guys, I will link the video somewhere. Try and go and read the comments. You will see ladies, women, mothers that had the same experience as me. How can you tell somebody that CS is not in their lineage? Is it a sickness? understand? It's not in our lineage. Why do you want to do this? You are going to be the first person. This my mom did not say this, but someone commented on that video and was saying that their mother was telling her that, why would you want to do that? You're going to be the first person in our family that will have a cesarean. Some husbands, some husbands, some husbands even do not want their wife to have a cesarean section. They say, no, please, doctor, try. Let her push it. She can do it. Like, I want to understand. The reason I really want to understand what the bias is. And please, to my, what's it called? To my subscribers, please, anybody you see with another view in the comment section, please, let's even take it as an avenue to learn. Leave them. I want to really understand, because I don't know how a husband, your wife, can be in a critical condition, and you are telling the doctor that there is nothing, your wife must give birth through vagina, and doctor is recommending CS. In my mother's word, she said CS is what doctors tell us to take our money. See how ridiculous that sounds. Why would a doctor recommend CS for you if you do not need a CS? I know that, in fact, there are some doctors that just say, you know what, open her up quickly. There are some get rich quick schemes and what, but why should anyone do that? If you're a doctor, have you heard of things like this? Why would anyone do that? Why would you? CS is a major abdominal surgery. Why would a doctor recommend surgery if you really can push out from your vagina? Because to this older generation now, yeah, they think that CS is something that doctors just, tell you. CS is something that doctors just tell you so that they will take your money. What? Like, make it make sense. It's not making any sense to me, right? So I think it's stemming from our foundation as Africans, our spirituality, of course, as Africans. Like, no, my mother did not do like this. I pushed all of you out. My mother was like, look at me. I had 5 of you. I pushed 5 of you out. No, Ori, try. Okay, my pet name is Ori. For those of my OGs, they know all these things. Ori, try. Ori, try. Open your leg. Let them check you. I was like, good for you. You pushed 5 of us. Good for you. You wanted to push me. I don't want to push. I do not have the time for that. And thankfully, my husband was on the same page with me. My husband was like, whatever will make this birth experience seamless for you, that's what I want to do. And my mother was trying to stamp her feet on the floor to say, I'm going to link the video, just go and watch the video. So I think one of the reasons is because we're too spiritual as a nation and as a people. We are too backward as a nation and as a people. That's why it's so difficult to bring some technological, advancements down here to Africa, because we like to we like to do things the old way. We don't want to grow as a people. We just want to keep doing things. It's like passing a baton. Sometimes trace some of these traditions back. It will be one stupid thing that started it. Just trace some of these traditions back, and to be like, I don't know, it's what my grandmother said. Go to ask grandmother. I don't know, that's what my mother said. My mother said, trace it back. It will be one stupid thing that started it. So we as young people, we as progressive people, let's try to challenge some of these things. There is nothing wrong with having a cesarean birth. It's a type of birth. And again, those of you that says it wasn't normal delivery, who says who who are you to say this is normal delivery and this is not normal delivery? Was it normal delivery? And those of you again asking people, was it normal delivery you had? And when anybody asks me, was it normal delivery? I say, which one is normal delivery? Which one is abnormal delivery? What you ask is, was it vaginal? Like, at the end of the day, we all want to see our children. We all want to carry our children. This even takes me to, a family member. A family member did say to me 4 weeks after I put to bed, you that did not deliver like a Hebrew woman. I gave it back. I was like, excuse me, Hebrew woman is the person that comes home with her child alive and well. Hebrew woman is the woman that comes out of the delivery room, whether be it vaginal, be it cesarean, however your baby comes. As far as you're home with your child, you're safe, you're well, you're a Hebrew woman. I gave it back to her. Don't let anybody lie to you. There's nothing like Hebrew woman. There's no trophy for suffering. No, Let me just tell you again, this is not to talk down on the people that had vaginal delivery. This is my own point of view. I'm just saying because some people come from the angle of you cannot even push out the baby. You are too small. You cannot even push out speaking. See you, all these children will go just the carry belly and see leave them. So this is not to talk down. At the end of the day, we all want to just carry the baby and be happy and be safe. Who is the one that will come and say, you vagina pass this side, you CS pass this side, all of you vagina go to heaven, all of you CS go to hell? Where have you seen that happen? I also remember after I put to bed, I know I was still recovering from the anesthesia. So people were calling my mother, to congratulate her. And my mother was trying to compensate. How do I say this now? She was trying to, we thank God though. This was how the call was going. I was hearing it in my subconscious. We thank God though, the baby was actually too big, so they had to do CS for her. I know she said that thing to like 2 or 3 people. Even that my subconscious I was like, Mommy, you don't need to explain anything to anybody. Wait till they explain, give anybody. Like, I don't understand it. I don't born, be say I don't born. Which one is the baby was too big? They had to like waiting they explain. Waiting you they explain. And I also realized that there are some mothers that put to bed through CS that are ashamed to say it. Why? Like, please, if you're a mom, this is not even to mock you because this thing called school of thought and belief is so difficult to, win people over to your school of thought. Right? It's just like school of thought is just like Muslim and Christians. For Christians, we think all Muslims are going to hell. For Muslims, whatever they are teaching them there, they think all Christians are going to hell. So I really want to understand. It will be difficult for a Muslim to come and tell you anything like, oh, we are the real people. We too, it is difficult for Christians to tell Muslims anything. So, this is how things like this, come about. I really want to understand. I know they shout for you. I'm not like because I'm so passionate about this, this topic, and that's why I want to collaborate with somebody that has, a different view from me, so that we will banter. You give me, I give you, you give, so that at the end of the day we'll come to a common ground. So yeah, that being said, I think that we being spiritual as a people is one of the reasons why CS is so touchy, is so dreaded, here in Nigeria. Another reason I would say, and me saying this is because I've experienced it, I'll say negligence or lack of experience on the part of our medical providers. Yes, I said it. And the reason I said it was because I remember the time that I was, trying to look for my betting options. And I Googled and I read that you can actually have an epidural and have a vaginal birth. So that was what I was, actually gone in for because I did not want to feel any pain. And then I went to antenatal one day and I asked them, I was like, I want to know the processes of getting an epidural. Immediately I said epidural. The nurses there just said CS. That was the first thing they said. I was like, no, I want a medicated birth. I do not want a cesarean section. I want a medicated birth. They were like, if you get the epidural, just have a CS at once. And I was like, I do want to have a vaginal birth, but with epidural. They were like, well, talk to the gynae. That's what they said. Talk to the gynae. Mind you, I've already read that you can actually have an epidural and have a vaginal birth, but it's going to be monitored because by the time you have an epidural, you don't feel any sensation anymore. So you don't even know when you're contracting, you don't know when you're supposed to push. You'll be monitored, right? You'll be monitored, and then the nurse would, when the nurse is seeing the baby crowning, the nurse will now say, okay, push, because you will not feel anything when you have an epidural. They did not have that. They said to ask the gynae. I went in to see the gynae and I told the gynae the same thing. The gynae said, the gynae indirectly, he did not say it outrightly, but he was trying to talk me out of having an epidural and a vaginal birth. He was saying, most of this epidural and vaginal birth, it may end up you may have to start using vacuum to take the baby out. Like, waiting they bring vacuum talk inside this thing. What I read in Oyibo land, well, na me fuck up sef. What I read was that you will be monitored. The nurse, they will keep a nurse with you 247. Although it may be with extra charge, but it did not look like I will mind it. You'll be monitored, and then when they see the baby crowning, they will ask you to push, and then the baby comes out. But now I'm coming to tell you people are already telling me about vacuum. And the man was already saying, when they use vacuum like that the thing may affect the baby's head, may affect the baby's brain. And I went back to a matron that was my friend, and I told her that I know Gani has said that, but I even showed her videos. You know what she said? Leave Oyibo people. It does not happen like that here in Nigeria. Did God create them differently from us? Is medicine different? Is it a different law that applies in medicine? Is the law different abroad from here in Nigeria? So these are some of the reasons I was literally, when I got home that day, I felt so sad because everything I read about, birth medication, epidurals, I was so happy. Like, okay, I really do not have to have a CS. I can still have a vaginal birth and not feel any pain. But my hospital at the time, wasn't offering that service. Maybe probably is a hospital I went to. If you have a different experience, maybe you had epidural and you had a vaginal birth, please say in the comment section. Let me even know where the problem is starting from. Because like I said, all my content is based off of my own life experiences. This is what I experienced. I do not know what it's like somewhere else. But I think that the hospital I used, they were, they lacked the experience. They lacked the experience to, you know, give me that what I wanted. Another thing that is causing wahala in this matter is the horror stories. Me now, not a lot of people talk about their births, their delivery and childbirth and everything. Not a lot of people talk about it. Let's start there. But when you I've never typed on YouTube to say CS birth stories that you see good things, or type on Google. The first thing you see is woman died through CS, complication through CS. It's just like a plane crash. Plane flies every day. Plane flies every day, every minute there's flying. And they land safely and everybody goes their way. You don't hear about it. But the moment one plane crashes in one city, the whole world hears about it. It's just like a plane crash. You don't hear about all the planes that arrive safely. You don't hear about it. No one talks about it. But the moment there's one plane crash, everybody in the world knows about it. So I think that the horror stories are more. This is to enjoin you. If you are in the sharing space, if you're in the creating space and you create content, use your platform to talk about these things, because people do not talk about things like this. To help someone else, to encourage someone else, use your platform to talk about things like this. It is not that bad. Definitely given, granted, there are complications in every surgery, in every medical procedure. It doesn't have to be only CS. Even the ones that give birth through vaginally, there are complications. This is not medical advice. I'm not saying leave your vaginal birth to go and give birth through CS. I'm just saying that if you are considering it and you have these fears, there is nothing to fear. There is nothing to fear. And you are not less of a woman for giving birth through CS. So I'm going to stop here. This is just like a preliminary introduction to the topic. It's up to them, they reach 25 minutes and they say that preliminary. Anyway, you get what I mean. This is just a preliminary introduction to the topic. I want to hear from you. I want to hear from other people in the comment section. What do you think about all that I've said? What's your experience? What's your bias? And also, to the person that has a counter opinion from what I have said, please reach out to me. Let us collaborate on this topic. Let's talk about it. Let's have a more robust um, point of view to the topic. Yes, I'll be expecting your comments, your rebuttals in the comment section, and that'll be it for now on this topic. We're going to revisit it again. And yes, thank you guys. Thank you guys for listening to me for this long. And until my next upload, guys, be well.